Yes, sir, ski. What it do, what it do, what it do, what it do, what it do. LOL, creepy photo before I clicked Brody. What was the creepy photo? Chat, what is good? How's my audio? I think my mic is different right now. Do I have any audio at all? Oh boy. Oh boy. I do have audio. I do have audio. I do have audio. Why can't I hear it over here though? Chat, y'all hear me? By the way, lowest and currently 276. Sound. Hey, that's what I like to hear, boy. That is what I like to hear. I had my thing muted. That's what's going on. Okay. Chat, welcome back. This is a rare Wednesday stream, man. I appreciate y'all being here, whether you're here live or you're watching the replay. This is a very rare Wednesday stream, y'all. We usually get on Monday. We might be on Friday. We're liable to get on a Sunday. It's rare we get on Wednesday. But we're here. And today I want to do something unique. Kev says, so I'm planning my vengeance tour. Yeah. Yo, the good thing about losing weight in handball is that they tie into each other. It's kind of like a chicken and egg situation, I feel like. You know, do you lose weight and then start playing? Do you start playing first to lose the weight? I think they just go hand in hand. You know what I mean? I like to scramble eggs and throw chicken in there. You know what I mean? They kind of play off each other. So yeah, let me know what parks you're popping out to. I know you said you want to come back to Victory. Let me know when, you know what I mean, when you're available, and let's get some training in, man. We had some good games, Kev. When you did pop out, definitely had some good games. We got to run back our singles. We got to run back some doubles. But chat, today, I want to do something different, y'all. Today, I'm going to show you guys how I edit clips, right? So I know a lot of y'all want to do content or have already started making content, and maybe you're looking for resources. Maybe you're kind of just throwing stuff at the wall. You're not really sure where you want to go with it, but you know you want to start. So I want to kind of just give you guys my sauce, show you guys what I do. And if I can help one person out there, my job is done, man. I'm happy with that. So yeah, man, I want to show you guys how I clip and just give y'all some essentials. So right off the bat, y'all, essential video editing app is CapCut. I like to use CapCut. Super essential, super straightforward editor. Boom. CapCut, y'all. Get acquainted with it. Get familiar. You know what I mean? It's pretty straightforward, and just get acquainted with it. Get acquainted with it. Start clicking on the buttons. You know, download it. Start clicking on stuff. Start reading the tutorials. Sometimes they'll give you like tutorials. They'll tell you like little things here and there. That's one of the good things about CapCut, right? When you first download it, I think I probably disabled suggestions, but I remember they would give you a lot of suggestions. And I could talk about more like CapCut ins and outs, but I just want to give y'all basic like software to download, right? So that's CapCut, right? Another thing that is essential in my opinion is OBS, which is what I stream on. Wall Ballers Florida, fire. Kev said, definitely, bro, got to make Victory my home, but please continue. Yes, bro, definitely. It's a good home. It's a good home. Solid crowd there. Very nice crowd. Very welcoming crowd. And I feel like I always say Victory has something for everybody. Another piece of software you guys got to download if you're serious about making content. It's called OBS. Download OBS. This is what I stream on. You can also record on it. And a lot of people don't know about this, but you can also download an attachment called Vertical Atom, AITUM. And basically what this is, it's like a clip maker for you. Like, it makes clips super simple, super straightforward. So basically, you download it and it's an attachment on OBS. And you can basically record clips as you're streaming or as you're recording, horizontal. As you're recording or streaming in, the big screen, you can set up clips in this screen here, right? So I can drag and drop whatever I want. I can have my big screen here. This is what I usually do. I put my main screen here and I put my camera up here, click this button right here, and I start recording. So boom, now I have another recording. Now I have my clips kind of just being made by themselves over there. Like, it's just being made. So as I'm streaming, I'm reacting to stuff, I'm making points. And, mind you, when I do clips, I'm kind of just thinking in my head, like, okay, this could be a clip, that could be a clip. Or sometimes I just go and watch the footage after. But basically, you'll do that, you'll save it, and then that's going to save as its own file. Bro, I've been struggling, but I'm doing it one day at a time. It's easy, but it ain't easy. That's good, bro. That's good. You've been working on it. See, I'm here for you. If you got any questions, drop them in the chat. It's definitely it's challenging and it's very rewarding, right? If you stick with it, it can be very rewarding. And I think handball is in a place where it's like in its infancy. I know it's been around for a long time, but it's in its infancy still, as far as the sport as a whole, and especially in terms of like content. Like, I feel like this generation is the first to really take the content to new heights, heights that it's never been before. And I think, we're just on the tip of the iceberg, really, so if you've been thinking about getting into handball content, making content, I'd say pull the trigger on it and, start now. There's literally no better time to start than now. Besides, the best time to start would have been, last year, 2 years ago. But the next best time is right now, literally. Now is the literal next best time. And I want to just give you guys the resources and the knowledge that I have. I've been doing this for just for some credibility. I've been doing content for, I want to say, since 2017. Handball content specifically, though, for the last 4 years. I want to say the last 4 years, so I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. And I think there's a lot that I wish I would have known when I was just starting out. There was a lot of, I made a lot of mistakes. I had to go through a ton of trial and error. And now I'm at a place where if I can help other people skip some of those, mistakes, then, I'd be happy to do that, I'd be happy to do that. So yeah, man. So get you CapCut and get you OBS. Those are two mandatory applications to download. And you could put them on your laptop if you got a computer. You could download it to your phone, whatever may have you. Fire, you found your lane. I found my lane. Yup. I found my lane. I'm creating my lane. What else? CapCut, OBS. What else do you guys really need as far as software? I guess Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I post on all four. I think that posting on all four gives you the most spread. It's a little bit of work. It's a little bit of work. I didn't start like that. I started off with one. I think I started on YouTube. Yeah, I started on YouTube. Then later I got Instagram. Then I got Facebook. Then I got TikTok. I got on TikTok last. But yeah, I'd say YouTube is probably the best one. But if you could do all four, do all four, and just stay consistent with it. Do you plan on competing this year? And if doubles, with who? Yeah, I plan on competing with definitely with Matt, my dog Matt. I plan on playing with my boy Danny as well. And definitely a lot of singles. Definitely a lot of singles this year. I really want to hone in on my singles game this year. Cause I love singles. That's my first love. If y'all been following me, y'all know I love singles. That's my jam. Doubles is a little more foreign to me. It's a little more, it's more of a puzzle right now. I'm trying to figure out the best ways to play doubles, and I'm learning. I've been learning a lot these past couple weeks. Really, I really just been honing in on the strategy of it. It's a lot of strategy. I can't just, singles is fairly straightforward to me. It's fairly straightforward. Left, right, left, right, left, right. You know what I'm saying? I created everything. I'm about to download CapCut and OBS. Yeah, OBS with a B. OBS. Have you ever played Hugh in singles? I don't know who that is, bro, but he's in my chat. Hayward Jablomi. Bro, what are these names, bro? What are these names, bro? Oh, somebody. Oh, snap. Nah. But yeah, CapCut and OBS. Definitely download CapCut and OBS. For sure. I got a couple clips right now. I'll show y'all a little bit of the behind the scenes with CapCut. Why don't you ever go live when you play indoors? Why don't I ever go live? I do actually. I go live on Twitch. Amir streams on Twitch because the quality comes out a little bit better, and I can clip it easier. Could clip it better. The better the quality, the better the clips come out. But I could try streaming on some YouTube. I could try some YouTube streaming, just see how it goes. It usually the quality usually doesn't come out great, but maybe it'll still, maybe it'll be still doable. So y'all, this is CapCut, right? These are all the clips that I worked on today, right? I just posted this. Textbook Tony defense. So basically I used OBS and I recorded this. Like while I was streaming, I recorded it. And I basically pieced it together, right? So I posted it, like I pasted it twice in the editor. And then I cropped one of them to just have my head. So I just cropped my head here, right? And then I just dragged that to the top. So that way you could see my reaction. Same thing here. Cropped it. And then the bottom, I just put the footage that I was watching. Threw a title on there with the add text feature. And then I use this really cool feature that I love on CapCut. It's called auto caption. So if you go to text here, click auto caption, and you can just generate the text. and it'll take like a few minutes or like a few seconds, few minutes. Is OBS not on Mac? Yeah, OBS is on Mac too. Knickerbocker Park this year? Yeah, definitely Knickerbocker Park. Hell yeah. I really like that park. It's a really good layout and everything. So boom. So now that the text is generated, I go here to text up here. I go to templates. And this is honestly is one of my favorite features because it literally just types up everything for you. And these are just all different templates. Like however you want the text to appear. I like this one. This one's pretty cool. So look at how it shows the text. Like it's so fire. Bro, look at how PSP. So remember, since I had it there twice, I gotta mute one of them. Right? Boom, boom. Bro, look at how PSP dropped to the floor to not get Tony'd. And boom, chat. This is a decent clip. And again, while I'm streaming, I'm thinking in my mind like clips. You know, I'm kind of envisioning what could or could not be a clip. So that, you know, that helps in a sense. I'm kind of like, I'm mapping out my posts while I'm streaming. And you can do that too when you're recording, right? If you just want to record, you could do the same thing. If you want to stream, same difference. Streaming and recording, same difference. You know, if you're recording on your desktop or if you're recording outside, you just want to be thinking like, okay, what's going to be a post? You know, what's going to be the start and end of a post, right? Ultimately, you want to turn your longer form content into shorter form posts. You know, short form is, you know, you need short form. You need short form. You got to leverage short form content because attention spans are not where they used to be, you know? So you give people little appetizers, you know what I mean? Little samples, like the people in the mall with the chicken on a stick, you know, you give them the little bites, and if it's good, they'll come shop, you know, they'll walk into your store, they'll click on your stream, they'll click on your page, they'll watch a full video. Yeah, I mean, it pops up on search, but I don't see it in the App Store. Yeah, I think you gotta download it from, you probably gotta download it from your web browser. I'm pretty sure. So if you go, let me see, OBS. Yeah, you download it from its own. So OBS has its own website. It's a very trustworthy software. This is not sponsored, by the way. Open broadcast. So yeah, so you'll go here. You just type in OBS. Boom. You'll click here. You'll click your whatever software you got. Windows, Mac, Linux, whatever that is. And yeah, you can start streaming. You can start recording. What else? Restream, chat. Restream. It's another thing that I use to, if you want to do streaming particularly, Restream allows you to stream to multiple different platforms, right? So, for example, this guy's streaming to Twitter, YouTube, Indeed. What the hell? I don't know. You can stream on Indeed. And he has Facebook here. And I think the free membership to Restream allows you to stream to 2 different sites. So, for instance, I'm using Restream right now, and I'm streaming to YouTube and Facebook right now. And it's super helpful. Super helpful. Let me see. I actually forgot. What's good, Joseph? Forgot I was streaming on Facebook. Kind of just started. Just been throwing that in recently. Yo, what's good, Jeremy? Joseph said, Restream is great. For sure. Will said, I've been doing this for a long time. I started when Crazy Tony was doing it. what I like about all the streamers is everyone is different in their own way, but I don't think anyone is gonna be like me at all. I'm just different. As you should think. You should think that that you're different for sure. Um yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing, chat. There's so many different personalities. That's one of the cool things about content is like, nobody's gonna do it like you, right? You're gonna have your own sauce. Somebody else gonna have their own sauce. And so even though, it's handball content, it's your handball content, right? It's your flavors, your take, your opinions, which is gonna be unique to you. What's up, bro? Giving people the gems. I respect it. I think you should keep the info you're giving to make money if people want to learn. Okay. Okay, I like that. I like that. Like I want to give people some free stuff too. But yeah, definitely if people want like personalized, like one-on-one, like dedicated help building, then, we can offer that in the future. If somebody really wants to like have some one-on-one coaching, I could offer that at some point. But right now I want to get y'all, you know what I mean? I want to get y'all started um and getting up to that point. Come to Zariga this Sunday. What's Sunday? What am I doing Sunday? It's possible. It's possible. I might come. It's me, Macho. Oh, what's good, Macho? My dog. Joseph said Twitch is great to stream on because they maintain the quality and store it longer. Yeah, I do like that. I definitely do like that. Facebook now remove lives, and just like most social medias, they dilute the quality. Yeah, yeah, and see, that's the thing too. A lot of people don't know Twitch is designed for streaming. A lot of people kind of sleep on Twitch. I find, especially in the handball community, they sleep on Twitch. You got to think about it, right? Facebook is meant for networking, right? Socializing. YouTube is meant for posting videos, right? Twitch is literally designed for live streaming. It's not like streaming is like a side thing, right? Like Facebook, you can stream, but that's not the main thing of Facebook. YouTube, you can stream, but that's not like what it was built for. Twitch was built for streaming. So you're gonna get better quality. You're gonna get way better quality. What else do you guys need to know? If you guys got any questions, y'all could drop them. But I just wanted to give y'all kind of like just like a little content creation 101 of like, just to get y'all in a mindset and give you guys the tools you need to really just get the ball rolling. Again, I'm 4 years in. But when I was just starting out, I would have wished that I had like somebody walking me through some of the stuff that I just had to learn on my own. I made a lot of mistakes. I had to make a lot of mistakes. I went live at the Dink Den on Facebook, and it was uploaded at 340p. 340p is tough. 340p is tough. Also, the shorts live streams. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Every platform has its purpose. Yeah, every platform has its purpose, for sure. You want to use them. I like to look at the platforms like different tools, like in your Batman tool belt, You could use them for different purposes. When I want to post like a really good short, well, I post shorts to all four, right? YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. But I feel like for short form content, like either YouTube or Instagram is like my favorite, right? I do TikTok and Facebook just because they're there, and I'm just like, why not? But and you're gonna get different audiences. That's another thing. So that's one of the reasons I recommend posting on all fours, because different people like different stuff. So my audience on TikTok, my camera keeps freezing. It's so annoying. I gotta figure that out or get a new one. But My audience on TikTok is different from my Facebook audience, which is different from my Instagram audience. And you see that too when you post the different ones. You'll see the different comments, and you know the vibe is different. It's a different vibe, different community on all the different platforms. Yo, what's good, Jacob? When you come into the restaurant again, yo, definitely gotta pop out again soon. I know you're at a new one now, if I remember correctly. Part 2. For surely. Yeah, I had a great time. Chat, Jacob, highly recommend Jacob's restaurant, man. Highly recommend Jacob's restaurant. Y'all looking for a nice place to take a date? Pull up to my dog Jacob's restaurant. I almost said recipe. He got some good recipes. It's definitely trial and error, and you spent a lot of time getting good at your craft, so I think it's important because your time is valued, so others need to value it as much as you do. Yo, I appreciate that. Thank you. Definitely a lot of trial and error. A lot of trial and error. A lot of trial and error. So much growing pains. It's a lot of growing pains when you start making content. I've seen people go live on the shorts. Oh, yeah. That's a thing too. Yes, that is a thing too. And yeah, you can actually go live in the short form resolution. You could do that on your phone. And you can also do that on the where is it at? The vertical plugin for OBS, this right here. You can actually go live on here with, I believe, this button. Yeah, stream all vertical outputs. If y'all could see that right there. And that lets you stream vertically, right? So if I wanted to target Facebook, right, I could go vertical, right? Because I think in my head, most people are on their cell phone on Facebook. I could do that on YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok as well. You know, use the vertical format. Although some of those apps are now entertaining this widescreen too. They're having a feature. Yeah, but I'm still at the other one. I can give you some tickets to watch a movie, Cafe Paradiso at Lincoln Center. Oh, hell yeah. I'd love to watch a movie. I thought that theater looked really cool. Cafe Paradiso at Lincoln Center, chat. Fire date spot. Fire date spot. I'm telling you, y'all. You want to impress your shorty? Cafe Paradiso. The scenery. All right, so first of all, the restaurant, the location, right? Going in and coming out is going to be a vibe in and of itself. Then you're going to get in, you're going to get some good food. If you like drinks, they got that. The environment is fire, beautiful aesthetic. You're going to come out and it's just, you got to go in when it's like daytime and come out when it gets dark. You're going to see the whole vibe and the aesthetic change. It's fire. So it's movie-like. The movie The GOAT was lit. The GOAT, okay. The GOAT. Question, are you competing at the B doubles at Zariga or at the Elks Lodge this Saturday afternoon/night? I think I'm going to join the NWA. I think I'm going to join the NWA at Zariga. The movie The GOAT. What movie is that? The GOAT. Wait, I heard about that movie. That's like the animated joint. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, it's Stephen Curry. Find out who the real GOAT is in 3, 2...
Let's go, Mom. We're so close. It's my baby.
I want to get copyrighted for playing that. But yeah, okay, that movie's good. Okay, bet. For surely. What else, chat? What else? Live streaming, different formats, short form. Chat, I can't stress the importance of short form content enough. Have to be making short form. If you do long form, if you're not just dedicating to short form, you got to turn your long form into short form, right? You got to be playing both sides, but the short form is absolutely crucial in the content economy now, especially with apps like TikTok and Instagram. You need those reels. You need those short. You need those appetizers. You need to be giving out appetizers and free samples, basically. You know, and some people are like, you know, especially today. It's a funny. What does he call it? Like a parable. But like some people go to the mall and they'll just eat the samples. They'll just eat mad samples. You know what I'm saying?
Oh!
They'll just eat mad samples. That's like the people scrolling. They never watch a long form video. They never join a stream. Shout out to y'all for being here in the stream. But some people just like to snack. And at the same time, some people will eat a meal and they'll see something else and they'll want to snack, you know? So that's how I look at like short form content. It's like, you know, getting a little sample, and it's a good way to get people interested and entertained. You know, I go to the mall. Every time I go to the mall food court, I get some samples, whether I'm going to sit down to eat or not. I might want to try something different, you know? Or even while I'm at the counter, I'd be like, can I try that? And they'll give you a piece of whatever. Been saying it for years. If you make a documentary, I'll be happy to help, bro. I'm always researching how to get better. Okay. A documentary. What is, I always wonder what goes into making a documentary. A couple people have asked me if I would make a new documentary. I should make a documentary. It's been a while since someone asked me, but I have heard that before. Chat, another thing is personal branding. And when I say personal branding, I mean putting yourself out there, right? Not, it's cool to record other stuff, other people, right? But again, like the way the content creator economy is now, it's like people want to see real people. So you want to start thinking about how can you give some personality? How can you kind of put yourself out there a little more, be a little more vulnerable, open up a little bit to your audience, and let people see you for you? You know, how are you with your friends? How are you with your family? You know, and I'm not saying you have to show people your personal life, but I'm just saying you can be more personable, and you can kind of like, does that make sense? Let me know if I'm making sense. A documentary is a great idea. Who making documentary? I don't know. Yeah, apparently people like documentaries. I don't really watch documentaries personally. So I wouldn't really, I'd have to do a lot of research to figure out like what kind of, what type of angle I would take. I guess a mini documentary would be a little more approachable. Could start with like a mini documentary, like a vlog style type of thing. I'm sure I could put a documentary together, or a couple of documentaries. But I don't know how many people would want to really sit down and watch that. Really, probably mad people would want to watch that. But yeah, definitely you guys, if as you're coming up in the content creation world, and as you continue on your journey, you want to start just like putting yourself in there. So, for example, the way I started putting myself out there more is by vlogging, so I would film games and then I would chop it up with with the audience. I will vlog. Hey guys, this is what's going on. I'm tired. That game was intense. XYZ, and I just get my bars off, Or I'll vlog beforehand. What's good, y'all? I'm on my way to the park. let's see what happens. You know what I mean? I want to work on kill shots and lobs today. Let's see what happens. Boom. And then get into a game, you know? And I might even, you know, I started doing that. And then I started like, what if I vlog in the middle too? You know? So now I'm in a timeout, talk about some, yo, my opponent's doing X, Y, Z. I think I could counter him like this, da, da, da. And I was just putting myself out there. I was just letting you guys see like what, you know, letting you guys feel me, you know, and get a feel for who I am. Filming is tough when there's no fly on the wall. Filming is tough when there's no fly on the wall. What do you mean by that? Do you mean like people, are you talking about like people getting nervous or like people get quiet when you bring a camera out? Is that what you mean? Because that's another thing too. You know, when I started vlogging, I had a lot of people that were super weary. And by weary, I just mean like they weren't jacking it. You know what I mean? They weren't jacking it. Yo, Amir, why you recording? Damn, I'm late. What's good, Maddie? It's all good. I'm just sharing some content creation game. We already talked a lot about content, Maddie. So you probably have heard everything I said already. But yeah, when you first start vlog, especially if you do vlogs and you want to vlog like your day to day, people are not gonna jack it. People are gonna be scared. People are gonna be nervous, and you really just gotta you gotta just push through, and you gotta show people that you have no ill will, and your intentions are genuine. At least that's what I did. To the point now where it's like, if I'm not vlogging, I got people asking me, yo, Amir, are you not vlogging? Like, it's like a complete 360 now. Some people still, you know, some people are not going to mess with you, and that's fine. You know, and you could just deal with that however you know, you can move how you move. Some people are not going to mess with you. You're going to have to just, you know, okay, I'm vlogging me now, you know. Why are you filming? I'm not. I'm filming me. You know what I mean? Chat, they don't want to be filmed, da da da. And you just go with it. You know, you just move on. So what I mean by fly on the wall is a style of documenting that looks more natural to the audience, like reality TV. Gary V, old school style of going viral and storytelling. So you mean just like having a cameraman? My dog with the $2. Shout out to Maddie with that 2. Creative red. Wait, what? Cursive? Oh, that's what it said. Vlog. Okay. That joint said vlog. How did you get it to say vlog? Was that just in there? Most people are shy. I would say I would really enjoy a cameraman. I'm not going to lie. I've yet to... Actually, I got a taste of having a cameraman in Florida where I had my lady like vlogging for me. And it feels good because I could speak with my hands. I can, you know, I could interact. I could be natural. And I'm not just having to like, you know, talk like this and be like this the whole time, you know. And it's a little awkward at first. I'm not going to lie, because it's just like your hand is just independent of, you know, it's almost like its own thing. And you just got to interact and chop it up and act like normal. You know what I mean? And just know when to flip, you know, know when, you know, you're talking, know when they're talking, X, Y, Z. But you got to think about, you know, can you afford a cameraman? Do you have the connections? You know what I mean? Do you have the resources, the social capital to acquire you know, a cameraman? Like, you know, I wouldn't subject my girlfriend to just following me around. I was grateful though. She took it in stride. Like, she was happy to be my cameraman. I was like, wow, okay. She's really down. Hell yeah. Yep, a professional cameraman vlogger. They exist. Expensive too. I'm sure they are expensive. Was an emoji to choose got lucky somehow? Oh, fire, fire, fire. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What else? What else? So yeah, you know, sometimes y'all, sometimes when I go outside to the store, I just walk around like this just to get comfortable like with the action of it, right? Cuz it's going to feel awkward naturally. But at the end of the day, like as long as you're cool about it and you're not weird and you still chop it up how you chop it up, like people are just gonna be like, oh yeah, that's just Amir. Amir's just he always vlogging. That's just what he's doing. He's vlogging, and it's not like, what is that? What are you recording? Are you recording? What are you recording? It's like, yeah, I'm just vlogging. That's it. I'm just vlogging. Sometimes I just say something random. I'm like, nah, it's just AI. I just say something. You're like, huh? And they move on, y'all. People move on. There's cameras everywhere if you think about it, right? Every store you walk into, every house you walk past, there's cameras everywhere at the end of the day. So just gotta get used to it. And it's just about putting the reps in. I gotta watch what I say while eating my dinner when Amir is around. And that too, the camera is gonna bring out the real, man. That's the thing. The camera is gonna bring out the real, and it's gonna let you know how comfortable you are with yourself. Are you comfortable, showing different sides of yourself? For me, I have different sides. Some sides of myself I show, some sides of myself I don't. Some sides of myself I want to show to everyone. Some sides of myself I only want to show to some people, right? Y'all have never seen me cry on here. Sometimes I'll be crying. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll be crying. But I might not want to show that on here, right? That's not the side of myself I want to show on here. And when you're vlogging, when you're streaming, a lot of different stuff is going to come out that, you're going to have to, ask yourself, do I want to show this to people? Or do I maybe want to keep these opinions to myself, these type of emotions, attitudes, opinions? But for me, like making content has made me a lot more open and vulnerable. Like it's made me a lot more vulnerable, a lot more honest. And a lot of stuff I watch back and I'm just like, I didn't really like that about myself. And I either come to terms with it and, or I might change it. I might say, you know what, I kind of want to move differently and things of that nature. And, it's kind of like a tool, you use it and you take yourself as you are. You can either grow or you can, stay the same, but the camera's going to expose it. The camera's going to show you the real. I remember I used to hate my voice, y'all. We need to start out subtle, a real handball emoji. Oh, snap. That kind of does look like a handball. He's a walking camera now. Yeah, I'm literally a walking camera. I'm definitely a walking camera. I'm a walking recorder. But yeah, I used to not like my voice, believe it or not. I used to not like my voice. And I didn't know, the thing is I never knew what I sounded like because I never recorded myself and played it back until I did. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really like that. Like, and so it made me look at my voice and say, okay, it's either one or two things. Either my voice is bad, right? That's one thing. It could be. I have a bad voice, one. Or two, I'm just not used to it. Right? And it was a little bit of both. I felt like I wasn't really when I first started, I wasn't, what's it called? The intonation wasn't there. I wasn't enunciating like I do now. I wasn't pronouncing everything as clear as I do now. A lot of people don't notice I had a speech impediment when I was a kid. I had a speech impediment. I couldn't pronounce all my letters correctly. So, traces of that followed me into my old age. And, making content let me see, like, okay, I want to work on this even more. I thought I fixed it already, but there's more work I could do. And so I watch people who speak well, who in my head, I'm like, how can I speak more like that? And I listen and I repeat, listen, repeat, film, listen back, film again, listen back, film again. You know what I mean? Like, as much as I film, as many takes as I've done on like different videos, I swear I could be an actor. Straight up, I could be an actor. I filmed and listened back to like, and it'd be like the smallest clips. It'd be like a 10-second clip. So many times, to the point where I'm like, okay, this is the intonation I want. Sometimes I have to sleep on it and try again tomorrow, because it's just like, nah, it's just not hitting the way I need it to. And this is a part of it. This is a part of content creation. Using your voice, using your appearance, right? Using your hands, your facial expressions, like in terms of like personal branding stuff, as like putting yourself out there. And again, I think that's really important, like moving forward with handball content. I think a lot of people are not doing it. And there's a lot of potential there. That's all I'll say. There's a lot of potential there. Appreciate y'all being in the stream, by the way. This is a rare Wednesday stream. And I said I wanted to get on for a little bit and just give y'all some content creation game. Just let you know where my head is at in terms of content, and kind of help out people that are just starting out, one, or two, who have, been thinking about starting and just, needed like an extra push. If anyone out there has needed that extra push to like really get into content and start posting, this is your sign right here. You should make an account on Open Sponsorship. See if you can land some deals. What is Open Sponsorship? I've never heard of that. But yeah, y'all, appreciate all of y'all being here. Everybody hit the like button, man. There's 15 of y'all in here. Let me see 15 likes on a stream. Or not. If y'all don't like the stream, don't like it. Be real with me. Don't fake the funk. I'd rather y'all be real with me. It's a platform you can connect with brands that you can connect with and make sponsorship deals. Okay. Open Sponsorship. That sounds interesting. I'm gonna check that out. Open Sponsorship. Like what kind of deals? What kind of brand deals? What else? And yeah, again, y'all, I'm gonna, like, in the next couple weeks, days and weeks, I'm gonna be giving y'all more and more sauce. Let me know like what questions you guys have about content. Again, I'm 4 years in. I'm about 4 or 5 years in with handball content specifically, but I've been doing content for about a decade now. About 1 decade in the game. I've gotten Tiger Bomb through there, for example. That's crazy. I was just talking about Tiger Bomb earlier. That's crazy you say Tiger Bomb. Vita Coco, Quest, to name a few. I suggest everyone here make a free account. I like Quest. I like Quest and Vita Coco, actually. They got some good snacks. Quest got them protein chips, I think. Vita Coco got the cocoa, of course. I'm gonna check that out. Open sponsorship. Love Quest. Yeah, Quest got the bars too. I'm pretty sure Quest got the bars. But yeah, um, definitely be giving y'all some more game in the next couple weeks. I really want to just. I'm seeing like more and more little channels popping up, and every now and then I take a glance. I'll just see like a random recommendation on YouTube, and I'll click, and I'll see it, and I'm like, this looks a lot like my page when I first started, and it's nice to see. I'm like, yo, any one of these new channels could be the next like big channel with some shaping, some steering. So, I know some people are like pressed to ask for advice. I'm kind of like that sometimes. I don't want to really like reach out and like ask. I'm one of those guys where you give me something to build and it got a box and directions. I'm dumping the contents out. I'm keeping the box so I can look at the picture on the front, but the directions I'm not reading and I'm not asking for help. I'm one of those type of guys. I'm gonna build it by just looking at the picture, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't work at all, bro. Oh, somebody. So it's like, if I could sort of just like plaster the instructions in a public place through my videos, put my videos out, and that way people who want advice but don't necessarily know where to ask for it or where to find it, you could kind of you can get it. You don't gotta do too much. I'm gonna make it available for you. I'm gonna come to you with the different things that can help you, and the things that help me, right? Every page is gonna be different. I'm not saying everybody is gonna need my advice. I'm just gonna share with you what worked for me. For the Mega Wall event, we have Legendary Foods, and that CEO owns Quest as well. That's fire. Okay. Legendary Foods. Okay. That's a fire name. Nice. Okay. So nice. So you presented your, what you had going on. They liked it, and they were like, hey, we want to chip in. We want to be a part of this. We think what you're doing is cool. That's fire. As funny you put that in there, because I have like a vision board over here, and I have brand deal like on there with a checkbox. So that's one of my goals for this year, is to get a couple brand deals that align like with my page and stuff. He's a New Yorker too, which made it great. Nice. Okay. Just like drink Perfy, Poppy's competition. Oh, okay. Yeah, Perfy was good. I had some of that at your tournament. I actually liked it. Poppy is pretty good too. I like those like alternate sodas. So yeah, chat, today we went over software. I gave you guys some software to download. We talked a little bit about just like mindset. I think when it comes to handball being a big New York sport, we need to focus local brands. Okay. Yeah. I wonder how many local brands there are in New York. There gotta be a lot. Especially in the city, New York City. There gotta be a lot of local brands. Sometimes I forget New York City is like a big hub for like business, fashion, like it's like the capital of like a lot of different whatchamacallit. I won't say art forms, but like it's just a lot goes on in New York City, like business wise. Mostly mom and pop trying to expand nationally. Okay. Got you. So like the smaller stuff. Yeah, like the startups. Yeah, New York City gotta have a lot of startups. For sure. Okay. Chat, I got clips to post. Speaking of clips, so posting frequency, y'all. Posting frequency. At some point in your content creation journey, you're going to want to get to daily posting. So, if you're in that beginner stage or, or you've started already, you want to start meditating on daily posting. What are you going to have to do in your, what changes are you going to have to make in your life, in your hobbies, and your habits that's going to facilitate you being able to put at least one piece of content up every day? That's baseline. That has to be baseline, and you don't got to start off like that, but I need you to have that in your mind that at some point we're going to get to every day. Every day. The same way you brush your teeth every day, same way you jump in the shower every day. You go to work every day, you talk to your mom every day, you talk to your friend, your girl, your boyfriend if you're, if you're a girl. Same way you do these things every day. You eat, you eat breakfast. Gotta think about how can I get to posting every day. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about more in the future. How we can make that like more easy and not feel like a burden. Just for reference, I'm posting about 4 to 5 times a day, and that's not including live streaming. That's just short form. 4 to 5. You know what I'm saying? But it took me some building up to get there. Quest had a lot of items with high lead content with high lead content in that FDA report. High lead. Why does that not sound edible? Oh! Somebody! Turn this down. Y'all, why does lead not sound edible? Is lead edible? I feel like lead is not edible. But Quest chips are edible. So how does that work? Wait, that was the wrong sound. Wait, hold on. Yeah, there we go. Quest products showed high lead in FDA reports. Lead is not edible. But Quest chips are edible. Something's not adding up. Yo, what's good, Johnny? Something's not adding up there. The math ain't mathing. The math ain't mathing on that. I ain't gonna lie. All I know is I bought a bag of Quest protein chips, and there was like 5 chips in there, bruh. No cap. And they were good chips. They were good. Don't get me wrong now. The chips hit. But it was only like 5 of them Jones in there, bruh. I was like, dang. I gotta buy minimum 2 bags of these? The problem is we have high standards and information now. Information now is aplenty. But unless we as a community can incrementally build our own type of products, we have to be strategic. I ain't gonna lie, I haven't seen the word aplenty in a while. Yeah, there's a lot of info out there for sure. There is a lot of info out there. For sure. Definitely a lot of info. It's like information overload at this point. So, you know, I gotta be mindful myself. Like some things I just don't concern me. Like I don't need to know everything, you know. I was getting caught in the loop today of like, you know, different like, you know, assassinations that happened. I was getting caught up in the, and I'm just like, bro, this doesn't concern me, bro. It sucks that happened. I'm sure there's some mischievous stuff that goes on. Like, I think assassinations are definitely real. And of course, they cover it up, of course. But it's like, that's not affecting my life. It's not affecting my close circle's life. And that's where I'm at right now. Like, I'm not in the place where I'm tackling global issues. You know, it was some political stuff. You know, I'm just like, I'm not even into politics. Why am I watching this? Why am I watching this, bruh? Like, does not concern me at all. I should be on live stream chopping it up with my people. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're taking away my time, energy from y'all. I'm like, I don't even need that, bruh. Let me get on stream and chop it up with my people and give them some content creation sauce. He need to get these handball issues solved. That's a fact. We should be watching handball videos. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. This is plenty enough. I got plenty of stuff on the plate right now. Plenty on the plate right now. But what else? Okay, so we covered daily streams, clipping, short form content, cross posting, daily minimums, right? We want to think about posting once a day. What else? All right, so this is another thing that I hear a lot of people say, right? You know, I can't be consistent with content because I got a job, right? Now, that's cool, right? That's a good excuse. But it's just that. It's just an excuse. Because you go to work, you come home, and you're playing a video game for 30 minutes plus. You go to work, you come home, and you're eating food for 30 minutes plus. You go to work, you come home, and you're watching your favorite TV show for 30 minutes plus. You know, these are instances where you could be making content, and all it takes is 30 minutes of dedication, right? And the more you do it, that time could get lower and lower, but you got to dedicate, you got to put in some initial investment. You know, it's like an investment. And that's to say you have vices. Say you don't have no vices, right? Say you're not going to work, coming home, and then smoking hookah or, you know, drinking or, you know, say you're going to work, coming home, and then you're spending time with family. You're hitting the gym. You're going to play handball, right? You're running. These are good things. But at a point, you gotta trade. You know, you gotta say no to some things and say yes to other things, right? So maybe you cut down on your handball time. God forbid you gotta do that.
Oh, somebody.
God forbid, right? Or God forbid, you gotta tell your shorty, I can't really hang out today. You know, I need to spend this 1 day a week or 2 days a week just brainstorming content or editing content or filming content. Everybody has time to do it. It's just about how important is it to you and how much of a investment are you willing to put into it. Post stories, which is still great for keeping engagement up too. There you go, post stories. Stories could take 15 seconds. You telling me you don't got 15 seconds? And that's why I say, you know, work and, you know, oh, I got work, I got family. That's one of the biggest excuses I hear about it. And once I hear people tell me that, I tell them, you know, hey, it's still possible. But if they keep going, if they don't ask like, what you mean? How is it possible? Or if they go, you know, because I talk to a lot of friends and family about content, you know, once they say like, hey, I want to do it, they kind of like, sometimes I get baited because they'll be like, yeah, I want to do it too. And I'll be like, oh, word, let me tell you how. And they be like, yeah, but I got work and family and school. And I'm just like, you could still do it, while doing that. And sometimes, they inquire more. A lot of times they just more excuses. I just leave it alone. I'm like, that's not, I'm not a content creation evangelist. I'm not about to freaking try to get you to do something you don't really want to do. But getting on here and talking to y'all, I could put that advice out into the world, and whoever it applies to, it applies to. By the way, y'all, my girlfriend drew this picture of me. Yes, that is me right there. But yeah, Johnny said, let me know when we get in our singles training in, man. Yo, we definitely got to get some singles training in, for sure. When's your next singles tournament? Cause I definitely want to help you get some training in. I love singles. I'm all for it. I'm gonna give you that tall man game. Been meaning to ask about that picture. LOL, nice. Yeah. Yeah, my lady drew that for me. I drew one of her too. It's at her house. But yeah, we went on a picnic and we brought some snacks out that we barely ate, but we brought some paint out, some canvases, and we just we painted each other. It was a good time. I think I vlogged it too. See, and that's another thing. Sometimes you could turn your day-to-day into content. Sometimes I vlog hanging out with friends. I'll vlog hanging out with my lady. Sometimes I got vlogs of me just in the crib working on my computer, just going about my day-to-day. But y'all, you only need 30 minutes to an hour. 30 minutes to an hour. If you could do that every day, fire. If you could do that once a week to start, like, that's bare minimum. And during that time, get strategic with it. Think about, plan your content. Like, same way you do meal prep, you'll cook a bunch and then you'll, eat throughout the week. You could plan a bunch. You could write down a bunch of ideas. And then, you could take the next 30 minutes to an hour next week. You could think about, okay, let me film now. Now I'm in film mode. Treat it like an assembly line. I like to treat it like an assembly line sometimes. Some days it's video ideation day, which is just thinking of the different ideas. Another day might just be CapCut day, where I'm just editing everything. Like, I'm just in editing mode. Another day, it might be posting day. Now I do them all together. I do them all together. I'll do, I'll think of the ideas. I'll do the editing. I'll do the posting all together. Greatness doesn't waste a iota of time in the non-investable. Damn, that was deep. Yo, that was deep. I ain't gonna lie. Bro said not an iota. Not an iota. You got your structure down pat. For sure. Structure, man. That's a good word. Structure. You wanna structure it so it's not just, sporadic and random. But when I started, that's how it was. Very sporadic, very random. And some things still are, right? I'm still working on the streaming schedule. We're gonna get the streaming schedule down pat. We're doing every Mondays though, certified. Every Monday for sure. We're on stream, no matter what. But yeah, structure just makes things go smooth. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. Remember that. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. When you take your time, when you structure things, everything just flows more efficiently, and you get less hiccups. You get less, automatic cat feeder that just went off. But yeah, structure is big for sure. Structure is big for sure. What I do now, I'll think of ideas, I'll write them down, and then, you know, I'll film, I'll edit, I'll post. But throughout my day, throughout my week, I'm writing down video ideas as well. Say I might be out and about, I might not have access to editing, I might not have, you know, access to filming, but at least I'm getting ideas down. So when I get that free time, I could get cooking. I don't gotta sit there and be like, oh, what was I gonna do again? What was I gonna film again? I already wrote it down. I already got a list of ideas. Heck yeah. For sure. But yeah, chat, we'll definitely, if y'all find it valuable and y'all are interested in it, I'll definitely go into more detail in terms of content creation. And, you know, if y'all got any like specific questions, about things that you might have been interested in or curious about, definitely let me know. And I could tackle them with y'all and we could get over it and we could get y'all posting, man. We get y'all posting, and, you know, it's very rewarding in more than one way. It's not just, it's there's money to be made there, right? Some people need that motivation. There's money to be made there. I'll just say it like that. If you're looking for like a side gig, you want to do something on the side, maybe get an extra form of income, keep it a buck. You can make money there. If you're consistent and you're putting in the work, you're taking it seriously, you're structuring it, you can make money. You know, you can make money. And depending on how much you put into it, it could be a lot of money, it could be a little bit of money, it could just be some money, you know, pay for your gas, you know, cover some groceries, you know what I mean? XYZ. It all just depends on you and, you know, how you want to engage with it. You know, for me, it started as a hobby. I just enjoyed video, you know, I just enjoyed content. I liked talking. I hated editing at first, but I found a love for editing that I would have never seen coming. But it was more so like a necessity. You know, I needed to edit. I couldn't afford to pay an editor. So I had to learn myself. I started tinkering with the different softwares, clicking buttons and stuff. But yeah, it started as a hobby, and then eventually it started making me a couple of dollars. And I'm like, oh, snap, okay. This is something I could really like. Now I'm enjoying it even more now. By that time, I was doing it because I loved it and I was having fun. And what's better than having fun and making money? Like, what? They always say don't mix work and pleasure, but it's like, bro, that's a lie, bro. I'm sorry. That is just a big old lie. Cause ain't nothing better than making some money doing something you enjoy doing. You know, and content could be that for anybody really. You know, I'm not balling out of control, but I've made some bread. You know, I've made some bread for sure. So yeah, y'all. I think we're gonna wrap there. It is 12:04. It is officially past my bedtime, but I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in to the stream, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. Make sure you guys like the stream and let me know what we should talk about in the next stream, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Oh, I took my soundboard off. It didn't come out. What's good, Love General? I know usually the stream would just be starting at this time. We're turning over a new leaf, y'all. Okay, we're turning over a new leaf. We're gonna be getting on earlier from now on, you know. So, yeah, man. I'll see y'all very soon, man. Peace.